So Steve, back in Portugal, but unlike 12 months ago, we've got a Premier League season to look forward to. How pleased are you about that?
Well, we're delighted, of course. I mean, this time last year there was all doom and gloom and all this, that and the other written because of relegation. And now we only have to look at our first 4 fixtures and realise, if we didn't before, that we're back in the big league. And we couldn't have wished for a more difficult start. So Portugal, as usual, here now has always been a great training camp, and we've had a good week in terms of getting the fitness into the players. The disappointment, obviously, is the loss of McGregor and Alex, who've both got pretty serious injuries, I have to say. McGregor with his back and Alex with an Achilles, and we expect them to be, unfortunately, 3-4 months, could be up to 6 months.
And this is the first time we've had this chance to sit down with you since the summer. How do you reflect back on last season and obviously that Wembley win?
There's no doubt that it was difficult at times. Very, very difficult. And we hope, obviously, and we know that in experience with it, we didn't expect anything else. The championship is tough for everybody concerned. Thankfully, when it mattered, Derby away especially, and the actual playoff final itself, the playoff final, were sheer ability. We looked the better team on the day and thoroughly deserved to go through.
It's only been 5 or 6 weeks since that final. What does that mean for preparation here?
Too early. I mean, it's, they've only had 3-4 weeks off, the vast majority of them. So, in that respect, players need a rest and they need a break from it. We've given them, at least all of them, a month off, which is important. But they've come back and they're looking good nick.
Abel Hernandez and David Mile haven't travelled with the squad. When are we expecting them?
And Elmo. I give them both 25, 26 days from the last game they played, because I think they needed a break too. So they will join us when we get back home, which is after the weekend.
And you put a statement out not too long ago about business as usual and identifying targets. How far along the line are we?
Well, I think it's fair to say now, with letting the players that we've let go, and then the 2 injuries we've got, then of course now we might need 5 or 6 new faces. And certainly the squad needs it. I think the supporters need it too. So we've got a few irons in the fire, and let's hope we can progress them in the next week or so, and hope that we can add to the squad. We'd like to do it quickly if we could, but in my experience with it, with the championships, the Euros gone on, there's not been any real significant movement just yet. Still, a lot of people are being patient, and we'll have to do the same.
And throughout the summer, there's contract negotiations and extensions of Tom and Elmo and Eldon. How pleased were you to see that?
I was delighted. They've been great servants, Tom and Elmo and Eldon. I think they all deserve their contracts because they've helped us get where we want to be. And I think it's only right that you reward them. Tom and Elmo in particular have been in and around me now for 3-4 years since I've come to the club. So, they've been good servants, and I'm delighted that we've signed them up again.
And this resort has been a regular place for us to come.
I mean, to be fair, it was done before I arrived 4 years ago. I think Nick Bombi had put it in. Pre-season was all in place, and it's been a fairly happy place for us. We've always got off to a decent start, so it's an ideal place to prepare. It's a bit hot today, but that's what we want. We want them to train in really, really good conditions, strong conditions, tough conditions, and hopefully that'll benefit them when they return home.
At the other end of the spectrum, we've had Josh and Jared and Greg all train here from the academy. What have you made of them?
Well, I would like to think that's been part of the club too for the last 3-4 years. There's been a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes in terms of the academy, and I've said many times now, Tony and his staff have done a great job, and we've now got 3 or 4 of the young players training with us. Now, it's a big ask for them to come and play in the Premier League just yet, but it shows that we're making progress, because 3-4 years ago it was impossible to have 3 or 4 young players with us because we didn't have the quality or the standard what these lads have got.
So it's back to the Premier League. How do you think the landscape of the big leagues changed since we were there?
It's changed. It's enormous in terms of finances. It really has. shocked me. It's going to be very, very difficult with the budget that we've got to try and compete. It's going to be difficult because where we were a couple of years ago compared to where it is now, in May, it's unrecognisable. And however, you know, we know what that is, a club of our size, but look, we've seen last year Leicester win the league. We've seen Watford comfortably stay in the division. We've seen Swansea and clubs of similar sort of sizes to ours survive in the big league. So, you know, we know it's going to be tough, but then again, it's going to be tough for all the clubs who are our size and stature, if you like. It's going to be, we've just seen Newcastle and Aston Villa, two of the biggest clubs in our country, slip out. So under no illusion how difficult it is.
And for yourself personally, how much are you looking forward to pitting your wits against the likes of Mourinho, Guardiola?
Well, that was the big decision. I think I said at the end of the season I need to go and talk to the owners and what's happening, and I'm sure every supporter of the club really wants to know, and I wish I could fill them in terms of takeovers and all the rest of it. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's pretty obvious to everybody, if we hadn't have made Wembley, then I don't think I would have had the enthusiasm and the desire that is required to be in the championship. And that response, I would have probably walked away and let somebody else with a new, fresh ideas take over. Once you get back in the Premier League, there's only 20 Premier League managers. And when you look, Liverpool have changed in the last 6 months. Mourinho, Guardiola, Wenger, it's mouth-watering. So to be in playing against them is what we're in football for. So after 2-3 weeks of sitting on my sunbed and thinking about what we're going to do, the thought of playing against all these great teams and being involved in the biggest league in the world was too tough to walk away from.
And finally, it's the champions Leicester on the opening day. How did you look on that as an opening day fixture?
Well, if you look at our first 4 fixtures, it's, if we needed a reality check, we've got it. They're tough, and I think I'm like everybody other football fan. To see Leicester win the Premier League the way they did is quite a remarkable achievement and worthy winners. So it's going to be difficult. We've got the champions who lost 3 times last year. So it's going to be an incredible start, but one we look forward to.